this tool bit up on center here. I'm still using a lantern post. Haven't jumped into a lower type holder yet. So I can use kind of some standard size tool bits and inserts. What I do is I made these rings up to get the tooling on the center line a little closer to the center line. So what I'm working on is I wanted to take some out of 4140 and get them heat treated. These are made out of some 8620 I had laying around, so I'm using those right now. So I got 3 different sizes. I can stack them and make whatever height difference I need for parting tools or turning tools, whatever we got on the go. And actually another thing they're useful for, and probably what I'll use these softer ones for, is make good spacers inside here. So I want to get this material out as far as I can and still have a good bite on it. So I got to get a 1/2 inch and a 3/8 spacer out of this material. So that's in there loose, but it's trapped, so we're not worried about that coming out. Take this diameter down and then part off. We're going to part off a 1/2 inch and a 1/8. I had to slightly change that plan. The 1/2 inch one I had in there I need for turning this, so I dropped in one that was a 1/4 and one is an 1/8 of that original set I made. So put those in there. Try and set this guy here up, and we'll rough off the diameter as close as we can. That outside diameter isn't going to mean much. Probably going to end up actually going to try and do some OD grinding. Going to make a little fixture up for the surface grinder and try and do a little bit of OD grinding on those when I get done. Let's make sure we got room here, and I can tell already we don't. Still like that. Let me get that set up. Well, this tool bit we couldn't quite get it in tight enough to clean up this diameter here, so went back to this is a high-speed steel piece that I actually use for roughing. Works quite nice for roughing and just to take a bunch of metal off. So we got it set up here now, and it's going to cut pretty good. Running that same 250 RPM, and see if we can get this thing cleaned up. diameter. And this piece here we used for the other spacers before, so it's got a hole started in there, and we're gonna just pick up the bore, cleaning that up after, and we got a drill out a couple of send a couple of drills in there, rough that out, and then we'll just clean up the inside. It's not really a critical dimension, so we're just gonna get the boring bar set up right now. That zeroed out, so we pick up that diameter when we're ready. And I think we better drill a smaller hole first. Try and get a 1/2 inch drill down through there. Getting close to an inch drill now. final pass out of there just to make sure that was the right diameter, decent finish in there. So there we are. Got our board out. Now we got to part them off. I was trying to part off at my slow speed, which was 50, and it was chattering quite a bit, hanging out here quite a ways, so I slowed the VFD down, so we're actually running down around 25 RPM right now. High speed steel, parting blade. Diameter's getting smaller here. I'm going to try and speed it up a bit. Alright, let's try this again. Try and get this blade centered back up. Hopefully it wasn't too bad of damage. 1/2 inch one out of the chip drag here. It's cooled off now. They come out pretty good. So what they are is they're spacers that go under the lantern, so depending on what tool body I'm using. So like I just picked these guys up and they're 1/2 by 1/2 and they fit in the lantern, and then just to get them closer to center so I can use the geometry of the inserts, just making these spacers to go up on the lanterns. One more to go. Last one. The only reason I was trying to get these done is we're going to send them off. They're 4140. I'm going to send them off with the 5 blocks. Try and get everything heat treated at once. Try and save a few bucks anyways. So these are the Toolpost lantern style Toolpost spacers that I've been making up. Got them roughed in, and we're trying to get them done so we can send them off with the 5 blocks to get them heat treated together. So probably going to do that tomorrow. So we got a 1/2 inch, left some grind stock on there, a 3/8, ended up with a couple of quarters here. I might take one down to 3/16 depending on how they grind in, and then one down for an 1/8. So that gives me a lot of combinations for heights, depending on whether we got parting blades or we're knurling, or we got turning tools in there, or depending, whatever we've got on the go, we can accommodate that. So like I said, with the lantern style, which I'm still using, I mean, depending on what type of tool holder you got, I mean, that's for a parting blade that fits in there, that's good. I can get a nice center line with that. But if I want to use, something to turn with, we're low for the center line. So what I've been doing is just drop that on there. That makes up that height difference, and then I can get that tool on center line, or I got a tool for chamfering, a high-speed tool for chamfering. That's easy to say. So anyways, that's what we're doing, just to make it a little easier to use the Toolpost lantern with a variety of tools. So they're going out to heat treat and back for finish grind, and we'll give you an update then.